Few names of crime evoke as much fear and fascination as Ted Bundy. A man who appeared charming, intelligent, and ambitious. But beneath the surface lurked a monster. A predator who targeted young women with terrifying precision. But how did he become the infamous killer we know today? This is the story of Ted Bundy, his early life, his obsession with control, and his ultimate descent into madness. Welcome to The Crime Expert, your true channel of gripping stories. Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. His early life was surrounded by deception. His mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, was an unwed mother, something that carried a heavy stigma at the time. To protect her reputation, she was advised to raise Ted as her younger brother, while her parents posed as his mother and father. Ted grew up believing his grandparents were his real parents, and that his mother was his sister. It wasn't until later that he learned the truth, and it deeply affected him. Bundy's childhood was filled with troubling signs. Family members recalled his grandfather being an abusive, violent man with a short temper. This exposure to aggression may have influenced Bundy's later behaviors. But even more disturbing were the early glimpses of Ted's sadistic tendencies. There have been reports that as a child, Bundy exhibited a disturbing fascination with harming animals. He allegedly trapped and tortured small creatures, displaying a lack of empathy that is often seen in serial killers. He also had an obsession with knives, a trait that would later manifest in his brutal crimes. Bundy's teenage years were marked by an increasing sense of detachment. He struggled with social interactions, feeling isolated and different from his peers. But he learned how to mimic charm and confidence, traits he would later weaponize. Around this time, Bundy began peeping into women's windows, secretly watching them. He also developed an obsession with violent crime stories, particularly those involving sexual violence. These fantasies started taking root in his mind, fantasies that would soon become reality. Bundy attended multiple universities, including the University of Washington, where he studied psychology. He even worked at a suicide prevention hotline, a chilling irony considering the depths of his depravity. But behind the mask of an ambitious student, Bundy's thirst for control and violence grew stronger. By the early 1970s, he began his killing spree. Bundy developed a method of tricking his victims. He would fake an injury, using a sling or crutches to appear vulnerable. Women, wanting to help, would let their guard down. Once inside his car, they were trapped. His first known victims were young women from the Pacific Northwest, many of them disappearing without a trace. He would later confess to killing over 30 women, but experts believe the number could be much higher. The confirmed number of Bundy's victims is at least 30, but some estimates suggest he may have killed more than 100 women. By 1974, Bundy's murders became more frequent. He would bludgeon, strangle, and sexually assault his victims. His ability to blend into society allowed him to evade capture for years. His killing spree extended across several states: Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. He was a master of deception, often changing his appearance and even using stolen identities. In 1975, Bundy was finally arrested for the first time, caught during a routine traffic stop. But his intelligence and arrogance led him to believe he could outsmart the system. In 1977, he escaped from custody, not once, but twice. The second escape was particularly daring. He managed to flee from jail and made his way to Florida. In Florida, Bundy committed some of his most brutal murders. He broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University, attacking 4 women in just 15 minutes. 2 of them died. His attacks became more erratic and frenzied, as if he knew his time was running out. But his luck finally ran out on February 15, 1978, when he was caught by police while driving a stolen car. Bundy's trial was a media sensation. It was one of the first trials to be televised, and Bundy reveled in the attention. He even proposed to his girlfriend in the courtroom. But despite his attempts to manipulate the system, the evidence was overwhelming. He was sentenced to death. Before his execution in 1989, Bundy gave chilling interviews where he blamed pornography for his crimes.
One of the final murders that you committed, of course, was apparently little Kimberly Leach, 12 years of age. I think the public outcry is greater there because an innocent child was taken from a playground. What did you feel after that? Were there the normal emotions 3 days later? Where were you, Ted?
I can't really talk about that right now. That's
too painful.
I would like to. I'd like to be able to convey to you what that experience is like, but I can't. I won't be able to talk about that.
Okay.
But experts believe Bundy's sadistic urges were deeply rooted in his psyche, far beyond any external influence. On January 24th, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds cheered. The nightmare was finally over. Ted Bundy remains one of the most infamous serial killers in history. His ability to charm, manipulate, and deceive is what made him so dangerous. But in the end, justice prevailed. His story serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes, the most terrifying monsters were the most unsuspecting masks. If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into true crime cases. Stay safe, and remember, evil can lurk where you least expect it.